The wedding party turned out exactly how my sister Emily dreamed it would be. Fancy spot with a view of the water, live string music, a tall stack of champagne glasses, and 200 people dressed to impress. She put in all the effort for this day, mapped out every little thing, and she totally earned it. What she didn't earn was using her speech to take another jab at me. "And I want to thank my loved ones," Emily said into the mic, looking stunning in her gown. "Especially Mom and Dad for backing me through law school. Unlike certain folks, I picked a solid job route." She didn't glance my way, but the whole room did. Soft chuckles spread around. I was parked at table 9, not the main family spot, which was saved for parents, grandparents, and Emily's new relatives by marriage. Table 9 sat close to the kitchen, packed with far-off cousins and old family pals who hardly knew who I was. "My parents always advised us," Emily went on, "go to school, land a proper job, create a solid life. I'm happy to report I followed through." She lifted her glass to steady paths, wins, and handling things correctly. Everyone clapped. Mom and Dad grinned from the front table. I was 28. I'd started Nova Play at 22. Grew it from my dorm room into a game changer in the field. But, to my folks, I was still just messing with video games. The toast kept going. Dad got up after. "I'm bursting with pride for Emily," he said, voice full of feeling. "She finished top of her law class, aced the bar exam first shot, and scored a spot at Harrington and Partners. That's true accomplishment. That's the success that fills a parent's heart." He stopped, stared right at me from afar. "I only hope both my kids grasp the worth of tough effort and proper jobs." The message hit home. Emily put in the effort. I didn't. My brother-in-law Ryan went next, praising how Emily's drive and skill motivated him. How she stood for the top of her age group. Driven, schooled, all in on quality. Not like those tech types chasing fast cash with apps and games. Ryan tossed in, drawing laughs. Emily did the actual grind. I drank my water and peeked at my phone under the table. 3 messages from my finance chief. Forbes ranking hits in 20 minutes. Whole cruise set. Early congrats, chief. I scanned the party room. Mom was wiping tears with a napkin, swamped with joy for Emily. Dad was gripping hands with Ryan's dad, likely chatting about their winning kids. Emily shone, circled by admirers. And over by the door, I saw someone familiar. Victoria Lee, lead writer at Forbes. We chatted twice while confirming for the ranking. She mentioned she might swing by. She knew Ryan's folks. Our gazes locked across the space. She gave a small nod and headed my direction. "Pardon me," I told my table buddies, who weren't paying attention anyway. I caught Victoria midway by the bar. "Jordan," she said softly. "Congrats. The ranking launches in 15 minutes. "Yeah," I replied. "Your folks have no clue, right?" "Nope." She looked over at the front table where my parents were. "This'll be quite the scene." "You could say that," I answered. We chatted a bit about the Forbes feature, a deep dive on the youngest self-made billionaire in gaming. 28 years old, personal wealth $2.1 billion, firm value at $8.5 billion post-recent investment. Nova Play had 1,200 staff in 4 nations. Our main title boasted 85 million daily players. We transformed phone game setups and were set to roll out an AI-driven system to shake things up again. But to Mom and Dad, I was throwing away my time on games. Victoria glanced at her phone. "It's out. Forbes just posted." In moments, devices began vibrating around the party. Softly first, a couple folks glancing at alerts, staring twice at screens, murmuring to those nearby. Then more devices appeared. The murmurs got louder. I saw it ripple across the space like a tide. Section by section, guests checking phones, scanning something, looking stunned, glancing my way. Emily was still by the cake, giggling with her attendants, clueless. Then someone at the front table checked theirs. Ryan's dad, a business guy who followed Forbes rankings. His eyes bulged. He leaned to Dad, showed the display. Dad's color drained. He snatched the phone, scanned it, scanned again, turned to stare at me from across the floor. Mom caught his look, grabbed the phone. Her palm covered her lips. The quartet's tune seemed to dim. More folks were on phones now. The chat hum moved from party cheer to surprise and mix-up. "Is this for real?" That's her sibling, Jordan Lee. That's Emily's sister, the game billionaire. Emily finally sensed the shift. The vibe in the room had flipped. She looked around puzzled, then spotted everyone eyeing devices, and me. "What's happening?" she asked, her words cutting the new hush. Victoria Lee moved ahead, calm and put together. "Congrats on the wedding, Emily. I'm Victoria Lee with Forbes. I came to chat with your sister, Jordan, actually." Emily eyed Victoria, then me. "Hey sis, why?" "We released our yearly billionaires ranking." Victoria explained Jordan's on it as the youngest self-made billionaire in gaming. Her firm, NovaPlay, sits at $8.5 billion value. Her own wealth is $2.1 billion. The place fell quiet. Emily gawked at me. "That's impossible. Jordan doesn't run a company. She creates video games. She started and leads one of the top gaming firms globally." Victoria noted NovaPlay 85 million daily players, groundbreaking AI tech, ties with all big tech names. The full story's on Forbes.com right now. Folks were loading it, reading, faces turning from doubt to awe. Dad rose from the front, face flushed. "Jordan, is this accurate?" I headed to the front table, fully aware all eyes followed. "Yes, it's accurate. But you told us you were tinkering with games. Simple phone games." "I said I launched a gaming business. You labeled it a pastime." Mom was flipping through the Forbes story on a borrowed phone. "This claims over 1,000 staff. 1,200 now. We added a group in Tokyo recently. And your wealth." She couldn't voice the figure. $2.1 billion, I stated. "Based on today's numbers," Emily shook her head. "This can't add up. You operate from home. You rock hoodies and kicks. No proper office even." "I run 5 offices in 4 countries." I noted. "I'd base at home when not on trips because I can." "Perk of starting your own thing." Ryan's dad piped up, staring at his screen. "It mentions here, you invented the phone game framework that 60% of the field uses now. That's our Nexus core system. I added we license it to most big creators. And deals with Apple, Google, Microsoft." He stopped, scrolling more. "You keynote the Game Devs Conference last year." I nodded. Dad stayed standing, clutching his chair back. "Why keep it from us?" I tried. "Dad, plenty of times at Thanksgiving 2 years back, I shared we closed major funding. You asked when I'd snag a legit job. Last holiday, I said we'd reached 50 million users. You suggested using that to apply for promo roles at actual firms. Mom's tone was faint, but you never mentioned it was this huge. I said my business was thriving. You figured thriving meant covering bills." Emily regained her words, sharp-edged. "This is my wedding. You couldn't share earlier. Had to let it explode now." "I didn't know Forbes would drop today," I explained. "But really, Emily, would it change anything? Your speech hammered real jobs, real paths, your path. Because that's what regular folks do. They earn degrees, secure positions, grow careers properly, not via games." "I didn't mess with games, Emily. I created an $8.5 billion business that jobs 1,200 folks and reaches 85 million users. That's real enough." One of Emily's law buddies jumped in. "Hold on, NovaPlay. You built Eternal Journey. My crew did. Yeah, my children can't get enough. All kids are hooked. It's huge." Another person added. "You're behind that AI setup buzzing everywhere. The one set to flip phone gaming. We revealed the full system next month." Ryan gaped at me like a stranger. "At the practice dinner, I called games kid stuff. Suggested law school for you. I recall. I mentioned and you stayed silent. What could I say, Ryan? You weren't up for talk. You were dishing tips to someone you figured needed them." Dad dropped into his seat hard around the space. I noticed folks digging up stories, viewing talks I'd given, spotting pics from industry meets where I'd shared stages with tech leaders and investors. My Uncle David came over, device ready. "Jordan, this piece says you rejected a $3 billion buyout from Microsoft last year. Wasn't best for the firm. You passed on $3 billion. I'm aiming for more than a fast sale," I replied. Mom teared up now, unclear if pride, regret, or bewilderment. Why were we clueless? How did we miss it? Because you never inquire what I really did, I said softly. You checked if I scraped by, if I needed cash, offered job hunt help, but never asked about my firm, my efforts, my goals. You figured failure since I skipped your route. Emily's top attendant tried to save face. Well, thrilling update. Let's cheer both sisters. One thriving lawyer, one thriving business owner. But the room's feel had fully changed. Attendees searched me online, read pieces, watched clips. The wedding faded to backdrop for the bombshell that the family let down was a billionaire. Victoria leaned again. Jordan, sorry to push more, but media wants quotes, and CNBC asks for a slot tomorrow. Tomorrow works, I said. Also buzz on your family angle, Victoria noted gently. The gap between image and truth. Rather skip that, I replied. Emily stood stiff by the cake. Her ideal moment totally sidetracked. I felt for her. This was her spotlight. I approached. Emily, sorry this hit today. Wasn't my plan. Wasn't your plan. Her tone cut. You've hidden this for years. Let us all see you as drifting. Let Dad rant on legit paths while you're loaded with billions. Would you act different if aware? She started to speak, stopped. We both knew. Figured, I said. The party dragged on, but never recovered. Folks kept coming over. Some truly curious about my work. Others eyeing investments or spots for their children or links. Dad attempted 3 chats. Each kicked off with I had no idea or you should have shared. Mom drew me aside late. Please get it, Jordan. We worried. Wanted you safe, steady. Wanted you fine. I am fine, Mom. Have been for 6 years. You wouldn't accept it. But how could we know? You never I shared over and over. You tuned out. Ryan's dad trapped me at the bar. Jordan, I'm in property deals. Keen to explore options. Your firm likely needs spaces, stores. My finance head manages that. I said, sure. Sure. Coffee sometime? Love your operation details. Everyone craved now, post-reveal. As the party wound down, I caught Emily solo by her cake. Sorry your day got stolen, I said. She avoided my eyes. Know the worst? Folks will recall my wedding as the day my sister turned billionaire. Not my wedding. Your day. Wasn't my goal, was it? She met my gaze. You sat through our real success talk. Ready to unleash this anytime. I didn't unleash, Emily. Forbes timed it. No say from me, but you knew it loomed. Could have prepped us like I prepped for your speech hinting lazy and failing me. She winced. I love you, Emily. I said, proud of your law win. Grind. Goals met, but you couldn't match that for me. Figured since not your world, not worth it. You make video games, she said, voice weaker. Now I run a firm bringing fun to 85 million. Supporting 1,200 with solid pay and perks, inventing tech industry-wide. Not worth it? She stayed quiet. I slipped out early before close. Victoria Lee saw me off. That was wild, she said. One term for it. For the record, the story's blowing up. Your tale hits home for many. The overlooked kid who forged an empire. I didn't forge to prove to them. I said I know. Victoria added, that's its strength. Next day, my phone blew up. Notes from distant kin silent for ages. Cheers, loan asks, investment please, job begs. I'll want it back in. Emily texted once. Mom and Dad want dinner to chat. Coming? I eyed the note long. At last, need space. 3 days on, I did the CNBC spot. They probed Nova Play. Our tech, future plans. Family too. Tricky, I said. My kin cares. Just held a narrow success view. When I didn't match, they thought failure. Does their miss sting? I pondered. Did once. Now see their nod wasn't key. I made Nova Play for game love. Saw chances others missed to build meaning. Family grasp or not, work stands. But pain surely. Sure pained. Taught vital lesson. Can't await others, okay on your dream. Especially through their narrow view. Post-broadcast, Mom rang. We saw, she said. Dad and I, all of it. Okay, you nailed it. We brushed you off. Assumed. Did, her voice broke. We let you down as parents, Jordan. Mom, no. Hear me. We lopped on success as law, docs, big firms. What we got that blinded us to your build. No curiosity, no questions, just dismissal years long. I stayed silent. Dad wants words. Emily too, both here. Come over? I gazed from my window. My $6 million top floor spot I'd kept secret at the skyline. I'll come, I said, but get this first. Anything. Not cash, wins, rankings. Respect, seeing me true, not your ideal. Rebuild means shift.